Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Saratoga Racecourse here on Friday. It is August 23rd, 2019. I'm going to look at all the stakes races on today's program from Saratoga, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for racecourses around the world, and join me tomorrow for my Travers Day preview. I'm going to look at all the stakes races, including the Travers, so go check that out. And if you're interested in the international races, go check out my York previews for today and tomorrow. Today is kind of one of the most premier sprinting race in the UK. It's the Nunthorpe, and that looks like a very good race. Go check that out. And tomorrow the Ebor. It's a really good handicap. But let's get to the action from Saratoga. We're going to look at all the stakes races, all for New York breds here on this Empire Showcase Day Summer Edition. We have the Spring Edition from Belmont. Then we have the Summer Edition from Saratoga, and this year we have the Fall Edition, not from Belmont, officially called Aqueduct, Belmont at Aqueduct, but an Aqueduct this year, which I like. But let's get to the stakes races. Races 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So races 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Third race from the Spy, it's the Fleet Indian Stakes. It's going for a purse of $200,000. Race for 3-year-olds. Fillies here, New York breds, field 6 horses going to the main track. The distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/8, or 1,800 meters, or the 1 mile and 1/8 distance. Whatever the fuck I said. Mile and 1/8 here. I show the diagram, just gives me a second to look down my notes, just bear with me. Top selection, I'll go to the 5 horse Behind the Couch. I'm going to go 5, 2, 6, 3 in the superfecta, 5, 2, 6, 3 super. I'm going to single the 5 horse actually in the early multi-wagers, but the 5 horse Behind the Couch, 3-year-old filly by Austin McGinn. Jeremiah Englehart trains, Jose Ortiz gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 20th of June at Belmont on the Muddy Seal going, 1 mile allowance race, 66,000. First time facing older horse, she finished second by neck that afternoon. She stalked early on, just couldn't get that good turn of foot late, but she still ran decently. And the winner, Maiden Beauties, running back this one today. Since that race, Maiden Beauties had 2 starts. It's going to be her 3rd start, and Behind the Couch has had no starts. So talk about training horses. But before that, the horse ran the 27th of May at Belmont, 7 furlongs in the Bowery. The horse finished 3rd by 4.5 lengths. She stalked early on, but again, she just couldn't get that good turn of foot. It wasn't her day to win, but they ran very quick that afternoon. And then at Aqueduct on the slop, 6.5 furlongs, March 22nd, and a main special weight 60,000. The horse won by 1/4 length. She sat back early. She got the lead, then she took off clear. It was an all-around good effort. The 2nd and 3rd place finishers out of that run both won next start out, so just keep that in mind. And then at Aqueduct, 6 furlongs, main special weight 60,000. Horse finished 2nd by a head. The winner, Kid is Frosty, ran a major race. Who's running back this one today, but this horse didn't break all that well, but had a great turn of foot late. First time around 2 turns shouldn't be a problem. She's bred to go it, and she has the speed if she needs to use it, or she come from a little bit behind. I think she'll leave off the gate from the little bit wide post drop. But to recap my selection for the 3rd from Saratoga, it is the Fleet Indian. Let's take the 5 horse Behind the Couch as a top selection. We'll go 5, 2, 6, 3 in the superfecta. Race number 5 from Saratoga, it is the Yaddo Stakes. It's going for a purse of $150,000. Race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 9 horses, but keep in mind the 5 horses main track only and the 8 horses main track only. So we'll be down to a field of 7 horses here, actually maybe down to a field of 6. The 1 horse 55 is entered for stakes race tomorrow. I believe the Bernard Baruch, or whatever the biggest race for the fillies is tomorrow. The Boston Spy, I believe, actually. Bernard Baruch's next week. But she's entered tomorrow, and I believe the rule is if you're entered for 2 races, you have to run in the next day's race. I'm not sure if it applies for stakes horses, but so I have a feeling we'll be down to a field of 6 horses going to the inner turf course. The distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16 on that inner turf course. 1,700 meters, or 1 mile 1/16. And I love a price in this race, actually. My top selection, I'm going to go with the 4 horse, Belle of the Spa. I'm going to go 4, 9, 2, 3 in the superfecta, 4, 9, 2, 3 super. Top selection, 4 horse, Belle of the Spa, 5-year-old mare by Pure Prize, Bruce Brown trained. Dylan Davis gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 31st of July, Saratoga, 1 mile and 1/16 on the inner turf course, allowance race 92,000. The horse finished 6th by 9 2/4 lengths, 9.5 lengths, excuse me, 2 quarters, yeah. But That's the horse stalked early on, had the lead for a very split second, but then she just kind of hit the wall. It wasn't the day to win, but before that at Belmont, 7 furlongs wide in her turf course, Ops 40 Claimer. The horse won by a length from a wide post draw, stalked early on, a little bit wide, but she got the lead, and then she took off clear. First off a break, it was a very good run, and then here at Saratoga last summer, mile 8th off turf, an allowance race 81,000. The horse finished fourth by 17 and a quarter lengths, stalked, but just did not handle the dirt and weakened out of it. It wasn't the day to win. Both of the horses' worst races have come on dirt. So if the race gets taken off the turf and run on the main track, I would be scared. But before the Saratoga race on the dirt, she ran before that again at Belmont, 7 furlongs off 40 Claimer, and she finished second by a nose at 24-1. She closed from nowhere, and she just missed, but she ran a good effort. She started twice here at Saratoga, once last time out, and once as a 2-year-old. As a 3-year-old, on the 4th September 2017, yielding ground 1 mile off 40 Claimer. She finished 6th by 5 and a quarter lengths. She was very wide that day. She had the lead, but then she got caught by everybody got to her, but she still ran her heart out. She has the speed to win on this turf course. The inner turf course plays towards speed, and I just don't see there doesn't seem to be a lot of speed in this one. She seems like the few speeds, and if she goes to the front end, if she sets some easy fractions, I don't know if she'll be stopped. I would like to see Dylan Davis just let her go. Just keep going, and if she holds on, she holds on. If she doesn't, she doesn't. But she's run some very good races in the past. If you look at her 3-year-old form and some of her 4-year-old form, it was good. But she's run one good race at Belmont this year. But like I said, if Dylan Davis is very aggressive, I think she could go wire to wire. 31. I'll take her here, and I'm gonna do a very nice win place wager on her. I'm even across the board. I'm not a big fan of show wagering, but when she's 30-1, I think show wagers will actually pay off here. But to recap my selection for the 5th from Saratoga, it's Yaddo. I'll take the 4 horse Bella the Spa as a top selection. We'll go 4, 9, 2, 3 in the superfecta. If you're going to play the multi-race, I'm going to go 4, 9. I think it's a 2-horse race between those two. So now let's get to race number 7 from Belmont. Did I just say Belmont? I meant Saratoga. But let's get to race number 7 from Saratoga now, which is the Seeking the Ante Stakes. It's going for a purse of $200,000, race for 2-year-old fillies here. We have a field of 6 horses going to the main track, the distance of ground of 1,300 meters, with a distance of ground of 6.5 furlongs on the Belmont main track. 1,300, 6.5 furlongs. My top selection here, I'm going to go with the number 6 horse, my Italian Rabbi. I'm going to go 6152 in the superfecta, 6152 super. Top selection, the 6 horse, my Italian Rabbi. A lot of people out in Howard Beach might have that one. A lot of people actually in Kew Gardens also might have it here in New York City. I like when they get creative with the names. The top selection, my Italian Rabbi, is 2-year-old filly by Competitive Edge. Jeremiah Engelhart trains. Luis Saez gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing was first against stakes quality horses, first against winners in the Stillwater at Saratoga, 6 furlongs on July the 18th. The horse won by a nose. She stalked early on. She got in front of Fierce Lady at the end, and she won very nicely, earning herself a 75 buyer. She jumped 26 buyer points that afternoon. It was a very good run for her. Before that, she ran 30th of May at Belmont, 5/8 of a mile in main special weight, 62,000 against State Bred. She won by 2.5 lengths. She stalked, she got the lead, and then she took off clear. It was a very good run, only deserving a 49 buyer, but she still ran very nicely there. Since the last run, she's been training here at Saratoga. 4 furlong workout, 48 and 4, the 24th best workout, 64, and a 5 furlong on the Oklahoma, 101 and 4/5 of second, the best workout of 5. So her workouts have been coming in very nicely since the last run. I like her from a stalking position. 2-1, I'll take her. It's not the best price in the world. If you're going to play the multis, I'm also going to use the 1 horse Violent Point. She's a horse. She's run twice. First race was crap. Second race, she ran decently here at Saratoga. And, speed from the rail is always good here at Saratoga, so I'll use her also. But to recap my selection for the 7th from Saratoga, it's the Seeking the Ante. Let's take the 6 horse, my Italian Rabbi. We'll go 6-1-5-2 in the superfecta. We'll go 6-1 in the multis. Race number 8 from Saratoga. It's named after the 2003 Preakness and Derby winner. The 8th race, it is the Funny Cide Stakes. It's going for a purse of $200,000. Races for 2-year-olds here. State breds again. Field of 9 horses. Going the distance of ground of 1,300 meters, with a distance of ground of 6.5 furlongs on the Saratoga main track. Keep fucking that up. 6.5 furlongs here. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 8 horse. The number 8 horse, Sky of Hook. We'll go 8, 6, 9-4 in the superfecta, 8-6-9-4 super, top selection 8 horse, Sky of Hook, 2 are called by Temperature, Rudy Rodriguez trains, Luis Saez again gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came 17th of July at Saratoga, 6 furlongs on the slop in the Yaddo Stakes, and the horse won by a nose. The horse sat back early after a quick pace in front of him. He got the lead, and then he held on to a very nice victory. He was drifting that day, probably could have won by more, but he still got the job done. It was a very good run. A lot of the horses from that race are also running back this one today, but before that, the horse ran the 10th of May at Belmont, 5 furlongs in main special weight, 6-2,000. The horse won by head. He sat back early. Again, didn't they have to figure out something with this horse, because when he gets to the stretch, he starts drifting and going all across the course. He got the victory by head, but he had a lot of he has to keep a straight course. He has some learning still to do. He has been training most recently down at Belmont on the 21st of August. A 3-furlong workout on the slot, 384 with the dogs up, the best workout 2. And then back here at Saratoga, 5-furlong workout on a minute and 1/5 of a second, the 5th best workout 40. I like his workouts. They've been getting better since the last race. If they figured out the point of not veering in the stretch, I think he could win at 4-1. I'll take him. On the multis here, I definitely used the 6 horse, the Italian American. We'll call it Italian Day at Saratoga if the Italian American wins and my Italian rabbi. But so we'll use the 6 horse here also, and I'll throw in the 9 horse. Listen to your heart. I think from a wide posture, this horse could also get a good run if he leaves off the gate and could go wide wire. But to recap my selections now for the 8th from Saratoga, it's the funny side. Let's take the 8 horse, Sky of Hook. We'll go 8-6-9-4 in the superfecta. We'll go 8-6-9 in the multis. Race number 9 from Saratoga, it's the West Point Stakes. It's going for a purse of $150,000. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses going to the inner turf course, distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or a mile and 1/16 on that inner turf course. 1,700, a mile 16th, and I hope the turf course is dry at Saratoga, because if they were running right now at Belmont, we'd be off the turf on Friday, because it's I live very close to Belmont, 15 minutes, not even, and we'd be off the turf right now at Belmont, because with the amount of rain we've gotten in the last 2 hours, it's just stupid, and we're going to get some all night long into this Friday morning here in the city, but hopefully the turf course is dry for this West Point Stakes. My top selection, I'm going to take the 7 horse Voodoo Song. I'm going to go 7-3-1-8 in the superfecta, 7-3-1-8 super. Top selection, 7 horse Voodoo Song. 5-year-old horse by English Channel. Linda Rice trains. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 3rd of August at Saratoga, mile 16th inner turf course in the lure. The horse finished 7th by 7 lengths. Set the pace and opened up by a lot early on, but then just kind of got swallowed by the field. It just wasn't his day after that. Before then, the Forbidden Apple at Saratoga, yielding ground 1 mile, July the 12th. The horse finished 8th by 5 1/4 lengths, and again, just had absolutely nothing. Had a little bit early on, but then got swallowed by everybody else there. And then the Shadowwell Turf Mile at Keelan, 1 mile, October the 6th. He finished 12th by 16.5 lengths. He stalked and again just had nothing left in the tank. I think the most overbet horse last year at Saratoga, in my eyes, or most overrated horse, was this one, and the Bernard Baruch handicap last year, going a mile 16th on the Melbourne closing weekend. He was 60 cents to the dollar. He was getting overhyped by everybody, and he finished 5th by 2 1/4 lengths, beating nobody. Didn't have him that day. Hit the superfecta for about 50 cents that day. Paid nothing, but I had it 5 times, and I had the winner Curaban. But this horse at the pace, opened up by a bunch down the backstretch, but then he got swallowed up by everybody. A shit run. But before that, he won the 4-star Dave on this turf course, wire to wire, and then won the Forbidden Apple. But something they haven't been doing lately is using his speed right. If Jose could use the speed better than Jose Lascano, I think he could, go wire to wire again. 6-1, back to a turf course where he's won quite a few times. He's 8-6 on this turf course, but he hasn't won here in almost over a year. 8-5 over the turf course, but he hasn't won here in a year. If they could use the speed correctly, I think he can win at 6-1. I'll use him on the to get back to his winning ways. If you're going to play the multi-race, I would definitely use the 3-horse Offering Plan. If Voodoo Song doesn't show up and there's going to be a pace meltdown, I think Offering Plan could get it done, and I also think Therapist, coming from a mid-pack position, could also get the job done. But to recap my selections now for the 9th from Saratoga, it's the West Point Stakes. Let's take the 7-horse Voodoo Song as a top selection. We'll go 7-3-1-8 in the superfecta. We'll go 7-3-1 in the multi-race. Pick 4, pick 5, pick 6, whatever you decide to play. It's your choice. So now let's get to race number 10 from Saratoga, which is the Albany Stakes. It's going for a purse of $250,000. Race for 3-year-old New York breds here. The final leg, I believe, of the New York Triple Crown Crown, New York bred Triple Crowns. But we have a field of 10 horses going to the main track, 1,800 meters, or one lap around the Saratoga main track, which is 1 mile and 1/8 in circumference. Mile 1/8 here. And this is a very good race. Some of these races today are very good betting races. Top selection, I'm going to take the 9 horse Dupes Points. I'm going to go 9-5-8-2 in the superfecta, 9-5-8-2 super. Top selection 9 horse Dupes Point, 3 are called by point of entry. Christophe Clement trains. Joel Rosario picks the mount up. The horse's most recent outing came the 12th of July at Saratoga. Mile Nathan Ops 25 claimer, and the horse finished third by a half length. He set the pace early on after not the best beginnings, was wide around both turns, which cost him at the end. He just didn't have a lot left in the tank at the end, but he still didn't run half bad after all said and done. If he breaks well today, I think he'd get the job done. Before that, he ran the 6th of June at Belmont, a 1 mile and a lounge race, 74,000, and the horse finished second by 3.5 lengths. He closed up a little bit that day after not the best beginnings, but he still needed that extra kick later. And then before the lounge race, 6,000 at Belmont, mile 16th on the slot, May the 5th. The horse finished second by length. He was very wide that day, had the lead, but then he got caught by Dynamax Prime, who won next start out. But this horse, first off the break, he probably needed the run there. His 2-year-old form last year, he ran a good second place finish against stakes quality horses in Central Park, and then he broke the main at Belmont, the turf course. He ran decently in spots and not so decently in other spots. But he has turf pedigree, but he's run very, very, very well on dirt. Like I said, if Joel takes the horse to the front end, can save some ground today, I think he can win. Or even if he could save ground around one of the turns here at Saratoga, I think he can win. 8-1, I'll use him here as an upsetter. I also think the 5 horse, Blind William McTell, could also get a piece of it. He has a better posture than my Dupe's Point, and he also has the front end speed to win going a mile and 8th. Biggest question though, can he get the distance? Some of the sprinting abilities on the sire side, and I'm not sure if he's going to get that mile 16th, or mile 8th. If he can get it, I think he can win, but he does have the speed to win. So I'll use him on the multis, and I'll also use Just Right, the 8 horse. He's another horse. He's gonna have to overcome a wide poster, but he does have the ability to win. But to recap my selection for the 10th from Saratoga, it's the Albany. As a top selection, we'll take the 9 horse Dupes Point. We'll go 9-5-8-2 in the superfecta, and we'll go 9-5-8 in the multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5, and remember to check out my Traverse Stakes preview. Good luck, everybody.